What's up, guys? It's your boy Goggles. Hey, do me a favor, subscribe, like, and comment for me, please. So, Russell Westbrook, they talk about, is he gonna change? With the presence of Paul George being on the team this upcoming NBA season. Come on, man. Russell Westbrook is one of the most realest players in the NBA today, and I don't see him, calming down or getting riled up because he got a teammate finally, somebody that can actually help him, in the playoffs to get them past the first round. But I don't see Russell Westbrook changing. He's too much. He's too much of a real player, and then he's too much of a, potent offensive player on the team, and just a potent player on the team. Period. You got Paul George, of course, he's good, but Russell Westbrook is not going to change. I want to see what they're going to say about this.
Right, that when Russell Westbrook
brought to you by The Jump.
Last summer at that steakhouse in LA, he asked him, "How can I change?" Durant did not answer. And 1 week later, he decided to sign with the Warriors. Lee, do you think?
And I wouldn't say it's a bad move, but it's a weird move, I would say.
And I think this year will tell us. To me, this season is going to be as much of a referendum on Russ as it will be on Paul George. I mean,
he ain't changing.
When Sam Presti made this move to the Thunder, he did it as a second chance. That's the way the Thunder thinks of this, for the organization, for the city, but in many ways for Russell Westbrook. Yeah. This is a second shot at playing with a superstar and seeing if
you can do that,
and seeing if you can elevate him in the ways that a great point guard does. Now, is that in Russell Westbrook? Is that part of how he's wired, or is he just wired, I'm going to the hole?
Honestly, Russell Westbrook, it was times where, people say Russell Westbrook, he's not afraid to take the last shot because, KD was not in the vicinity of asking for the ball when he wanted when it was crunch time and, they needed to win the game off of one shot. KD, sometimes he was not asking for the ball, and so Russell Westbrook took it upon himself to just take shots and just go out there and just, try to do his best. And people hate Russell Westbrook for that. But, it's going to be interesting to see Paul George in the Thunder. And Russell Westbrook, playing together. Can they actually be another Russell Westbrook and KD, duo? I don't know if they'll be better, honestly. I feel like they can be better, though, because Russell Westbrook has evolved since, KD, when they played with each other. And, Paul George is a great player, offensive and defensively. He brings more to the table than KD did. But it's going to be an interesting duo this year. I feel like they're going to be better than the Chris Paul and James Harden duo.
And that's what this year is going to be about. We are going to know a lot more in 6 months, I think, about who Russ is.
There's this idea that, they both got what they want, right?
This is a lot for Russell Westbrook, too.
Finals MVP. Russell Westbrook stays in Oklahoma.
It's going to bring a lot out of Russell Westbrook to see if he can actually play with, another great player and see if it can actually work.
They both got the situation they wanted. Now Paul George is there, and I know there's this great part of the story. You talked to Sam Presti.
They do not like it.
Durant left. They sat down
He do
with
not
all
like
the
him.
guys, and they were in they were in the gym, and they were refinishing the paint surface, right? So they had all the fumes, and they were sort of intoxicated by all the paint finishers as they were finishing the floor.
Like your makeup room.
Right, yeah, basically with all the hairspray. It actually makes the show better when you inhale all the makeup fumes. But when they're in there, they went through and said, what's the ideal team and the ideal pass for Russell Westbrook?
It looks like Paul George, doesn't it? A guy who plays off the ball, who doesn't need the ball all the time, who can defend.
I seem to remember Paul needing the ball.
Well, Russell Westbrook, you really don't need a whole bunch of superstars, Russell Westbrook. And you need that. When they had James Harden, it was Russell Westbrook, James Harden, KD, Serge Ibaka. That was a great team. If they would have stayed together, it would have been like the Warriors of today. In a different way, but at the same time, just the fact of their dominance, they could be dominant in the league today. And I feel like most of that is the owner's fault or whoever, the GM. He wouldn't pay these players money. Come on, man. You had James Harden, who is one of the best players now. Now you got Serge Ibaka, who has fell down lately, but at the time he was a great presence. He's a Draymond Green, defensive and then offensively he can shoot better than Draymond Green. But he's been slacking and declining since that happened. He's been declining, but man, Russell Westbrook does not need just a whole bunch of superstars in his team. Really, I mean, he had a triple double with the team that shot the worst field goal percentage from three. They had the worst 3-point field goal percentage from three, and he had a triple double. Now tell me, how can you get a triple double and you don't have shooters on your team? Imagine Russell Westbrook with shooters. It would be impossible. It'd be too much. Too much. You talking about a super team? Just one of them be a super team.
He's got to be there by now. I mean, if he's gonna have this moment of awakening, it has to be now. I was at this SI.
Paul George gonna be a good asset for that team. I feel like.
A couple weeks ago, I can't believe I got an invite.
They just need one more player to at least. At least be able to go up against the Warriors with a winning chance. I feel like
because he was sort of tamping it down. Like, I've been there, and once you do it, once you go through that solo act, I think you then want something more. If he's not at that point now, I don't know if he ever will be.
Well, guys, this is they really didn't answer the question. They just basically said that will Russell Westbrook change? And in my opinion, I don't believe he'll change. I mean, he may make a few adjustments, to better the chemistry between him and Paul George, because obviously he's gonna give up some shots, and that'll be good on him as well. Not not taking as many shots, having somebody in the fourth quarter to give somebody else the ball. I think he'd love the presence of Paul George or any other All-Star on that team because of the fact he had to carry so much, and he wasn't afraid to carry, and people criticized him, and he still, maintained his composure, still went out there and tried to do his best, and, he's going to take shots, but he had to. Who did he have on his team? They got the worst 3-point field goal percentage in the league. I mean, who else can make shots for you? Andrew Roberson, 27% from the line. That's unacceptable. So this is going to be a great year, I feel like, for the Russell Westbrook and Paul George. I feel like they can mesh very well. I feel like this is going to be great for Russell Westbrook, not having such a load on him and being able to, take a break and say, I can breathe. But it's your boy Gargles. Hey, do me a favor, please subscribe, like, and comment, and share. I will catch y'all later.